Alright, so here we have a 91 twin turbo 300ZX engine. This particular motor made 473 rear wheel horsepower at 20 psi with 100 octane. No sort of fancy fuel, just a straight 100 octane. Torque was 416 and 91 pump fuel. It did 395 horsepower, 395 torque. As you can see, we'll do a little drive-by here. Just about everything has been either painted, powder coated, or polished. You can also see we've got all the stainless, engine bolts and such. Looking down here, got a fresh harness. This harness is darn near brand new, and you can take a look at it. Nothing crispy here. Get to the tail end of it. Every connector is on the harness here, including the ECU plug. So this is, like I said, pretty much a plug and play drop-in harness. You can see all the splices here have all been cleaned up, taken care of. There is one still open. That is for a AFC Neo, which would be required to run this engine with a dual intake setup. And I've got instructions on how to program that for this. While we're talking about harnesses, we can kind of chase it down here. That goes into a Nismo 740cc injector, into a 300-degree billet fuel rail. All the hoses, lines are Earls. Going to the Ultraflex hose here. Like I said, this stuff is pretty much ready to be bolted up as is. You can see here we've got a Aeromotive A1000. Get a nice shot of it. Aeromotive A1000 fuel pressure regulator. That is preset, ready to go, as well as a fuel filter that's been on there less than 3,000 miles, including the entire fuel system, including the injectors, has been on there less than 3,000 miles. Engine has all the basics done. If you're in the 3800ZX world, so water bypass. We've got the PCV reroute here. Basically what that does is helps eliminate the oil pooling in the upper valve cover and getting basically sucked into the intake, which thus goes in the engine, making a nice plume of smoke when you're making hard corners. We can kind of track those back here. You can see that the actual reroute was done the right way. We don't just have, a bent barb here with 90 degrees. These are actual plugs, and they're all, RTV silicone in there. The whole upper end here has also just had fresh gaskets. You can see them here. EGR on the underside, plenum gasket. Reason being is this car wasn't an accident, it was overturned, so we just wanted to pull off the entire upper intake manifold and make sure everything was clean there. Everything is. We've got overboard throttle bodies here. Not sure how much we'll be able to see in there. Let's see if we can't put a little light on it. There we go. How much we can see in there, but those have been freshly cleaned. The entire upper plenum's freshly cleaned, freshly powder coated. Coming to the front of the engine here, powder coated upper water pipes. We've got some unorthodox racing pulleys, as well as some Gates racing belts. Those maybe have, I'd say less than 1,000 miles on them. You can see we've also got alternator here. This is a remanufactured unit. Everything's good with it. We've also got the AC compressor over here. See, everything's plugged up, has been since it's been removed. Coming around back, trying to go slow here so you can pick up just about everything. You've got idle air controller that's been freshly disassembled, cleaned. Engine has every sensor you could imagine, so throttle position, detonation sensor. We've got everything kind of coiled up here, but we've got EGR solenoid, the vacuum lines for that obviously goes back to the EGR. More vacuum line. We've got oil cooler lines here. We've got everything kind of buttoned up, but those will go obviously right up to the nose of the car for oil cooler. I don't know how much we can see here. Let's put a little light on it. You can see just everything is dry. There's no real weeping of any sort on this engine. Never burned oil. Never had any smoke. You can see the turbine housing, was nice, that chalky white color. The other side looks a little damp, but that was when I disconnected this hose. The PCV reroute had a little oil in there that ran down, but we've cleaned that off. But obviously it affects the color for right now. While we're looking down here, these turbos, these are the Z1 525s. Like I said, at 20 psi, these things made 473 rear wheel horsepower, and put it at 416 torque, or on 91 octane it was 395 rear wheel. So this is a 400 horsepower setup all day long, or when boosting you're making 500 engine horsepower. Coming around back, we've got Specialty Z split downpipes. We've got the O2 sensors in there as well. All that is clean, working, no codes. These are the split downpipes with the divorced wastegate. Basically what that does is just splits the turbine exit, the turbine exhaust from the actual wastegate dump until lower in the exhaust track. What else do I want to tell you here? Let's go underneath. Here we have the oil pressure sender unit. Just a harness on, just a wire running there. I can instruct you on where that goes. We've got some fresh turbo drain hoses, turbo gaskets. You can see the pan is dry as a bone all the way around. Same with this side. There was some weepage there, and that's why I replaced those turbo drain hoses. Anything else? These little guys right here, if you've ever had to replace those are real special. But these are new ones, so water pipes, and put a new thermostat in there as well, so fresh OEM hoses and water pipe. Besides that, let me show you what else this engine will come with. Throw it over here. Entire box of goodies. So obviously the Bible for anyone who's going to be doing a swap or just having the engine. This is a godsend. Here we have the ECU that will come with it. This was programmed by Specialty Z on the dyno for this car. Actually has a dual map, so just by grounding this wire right here, we have the ability to switch between 91 and 100 octane. A bunch of different random gaskets from the rebuild. I think that's a power steering belt. Dropping the pan, rolling in a new rod and main bearings after clearances run out was checked. On obviously the journals, as well as oil pump. While we were in there, obviously putting fresh front and rear main seals. Entire top end gaskets, as I mentioned, are fresh. The valve cover, feed pig gaskets are fresh to the Nissan spec. Over here, I don't know if I've gone through this, but we've got receipts from just about everyone that was involved here. So anyone from the front clip, actual mileage. Let's see. I think that was another one. We've got the fuel injectors, the 740s, the 300-degree rails from V1. We've got all the Earls, lines, fittings. Obviously my local Nissan, layout of the entire fuel system, all the fittings, sizes, fuel pressure regulator, fuel filter, more rails installed. I mean, we've got receipts for just about anything and everything that's on this engine. Over here we've got this low and high are actually the gain and set boost settings. Here we have the dyno chart from Specialty Z, where Greg and Seb tuned it. I can see our number. Let's see if we can get in here. You can see the numbers there. I'm not sure if you can make that out, but that's max power 473 horsepower, 416 torque at 20 psi, 100 octane. And we've got 395 horsepower and 395 torque with 91. You can see these curves are beautiful, huh? Thank the guys at Specialty Z for that. Sorry I had a ball at the car shortly thereafter. Down here we've got obviously air fuel, and boost is the lower one. Air fuel on the, let's see, about 4,500 RPM. We're 11.8 and 11.39. Can't think of anything else to tell you, but like I said, engine is a drop-in. Everything's here for you. Everything's been sealed since it's been pulled apart, including intakes, fuel lines. What you see is what you get. I can do shipping as well. I do take PayPal. We have a local crating company here. It costs about $300 total to get this thing put in a box and sent to the East Coast. So don't let that scare you away if you're not around. If you're local, I've also got a cherry picker here, so you can drop in the back of your truck. With that said, let this go. Touch up.